4, 3, 2, 1.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the online comedy show.
I'm Chris Dawa.
And I'm Benjamin Delahaye, and I'm from France.
Every time.
Every single time.
Every week.
And he's from a place nobody cares about.
Oh, God. It's Australia.
That's exactly what I was talking about. Guys, we are streaming live from Zürich, Switzerland.
I'm too excited about that.
Well, this is where I live, so I want to be excited.
I'm alive!
But we're broadcasting worldwide.
We are.
We're broadcasting in the US, in the UK,
Are we in Australia?
in Germany, basically all the countries in which I put some Facebook advertising money.
So not in Australia.
Who cares? No, not in Australia.
No,
They're
thank
asleep.
you, dude.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a special
We
show
do. Oh,
for
this
you
is a
tonight.
big different show. Very different from the way we did
Yes.
it last week, the way we'll do it like the last previous weeks.
And the next week it's gonna be different. It's gonna be a panel show.
Yeah, we're doing a
All
panel
right.
show tonight. It's
All
going to be
right.
super
So
exciting.
we're gonna
I'm
bring
charged
some.
for it.
Me too.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
charged
let
for-
you talk. I promise.
Don't.
We're gonna bring some discussions between the comics. It's gonna
We
be
are.
very
We have
exciting.
some great guests. Ooh, should we tell them where our guests are from?
Well, yes. Well, maybe when we introduce them.
Okay,
First of
I'm
all,
so
there are
excited.
some people that I want to acknowledge and recognize.
Is it me?
No.
Oh.
Guys, some of you have been watching this stream week after week, and you have sat through all the technical problems.
Yeah.
You-
2 months, right? We've
2
been 8
months.
weeks, you guys.
It's
have been...
our 8th show.
Wow.
Wow.
2 months we've been doing this. You guys have been through all of it.
You've been through comedy problems.
Yep.
Let's face it.
Yeah.
All right.
Technical problems.
Say everything.
You've had to
and-
look at Ben's face. I mean,
Thank you.
You're-
And then you guys, I want to say you are the true heroes of the pandemics.
yeah, screw
All
the
right.
hospitals.
I wouldn't go that far, but
Okay,
these
fair
people,
enough.
you know, doctors, they're trained to do their jobs. These guys, you know, they had to learn on the job, and I hope,
like us.
like us.
Like
So
us.
what I hope is that when this stream ends at 9:30 p.m. Switzerland time,
Mm.
you all go to your balcony and you applaud the true heroes of the pandemics, the people who are sitting through our online shows.
Was that the most exercise you got this month?
Yes. No, the most exercise.
Just exercise. And done.
All right, before we introduce our panel guest,
We have news?
yeah, we have a lot of news.
Round of the weekly news. Speaking of exercise, what's our first story?
Well, the story of the week is,
Yeah.
you know, Adele posting a picture of herself with a lot of weight gone.
Yeah. All
Disappeared.
disappeared. All gone. She's
Oh,
slim
disappeared.
now.
And she was kind of attacked even by her own fans.
Mostly you, though, right?
Well, because I, you know, kind of lost all my excuses right there.
Yeah. Yep. Couldn't be like, oh, Adele's big. I don't need to work on anything.
Okay.
Yeah. We'll get you down there.
So she was asked, you know, how do you react to such fans who are shaming your weight loss? And she said, "Never will I please someone like you."
Did you rehearse that?
I rehearsed for that. That's the sad
You
part.
should have rehearsed a lot longer.
Dude.
Like maybe to the end of your
I'm
life
sorry.
and then never do it.
Okay, I will never do that again.
Ugh.
It was such the news of the week. Even Joe Rogan mentioned it on his podcast.
Ooh, that
This
does
is-
make a big news.
This is big. This is literally the conversation everybody's weighing in on. You see what I did
Are
there?
you proud of yourself for that?
No.
That was worse than
Next.
Next.
All right. On CNN website, CNN published a study,
Ooh.
the results of the study that said that if you drink and smoke during
Okay.
pregnancy,
Yep.
this is going to affect the child's brain.
Really?
This in America was news.
It's news to me. My mom's got some explaining to do.
So I got more news for you, America. If you brush your teeth, they're going to get cleaner.
Again, you're just dropping gems now. This is crazy.
I don't know. All right. And then last piece of news,
Mm-hmm.
Apple has decided to reopen their stores.
Ooh, risky.
Risky.
Yeah.
I know, but they said it was the only thing
Okay.
that we could do to avoid what expert would call the apple crumble.
Oh, Jesus.
You see?
That left a bad taste in my mouth. You're saying Apple wanted a
All
piece
right.
of the pie?
Hey, enough.
The apple pie? Yeah,
All
I
right.
had to get a bad one in there too, right? Is that enough? Are we done?
Yes, it is enough.
And
I think we're
let's-
done. Guys,
move on with the
also,
reveal
you
in.
can, all the people watching the streams, all the 23 people, you can comment. We are watching your comments live.
We are.
So we're gonna rebound on these comments, and
gonna-
also you can participate during the panel show. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I think it's time that we meet our panel. Mr. Director, let's bring the panel on.
All right. So introducing first, coming in from Zürich, Switzerland, it's Mr. Harry Fox.
Hello,
How are you doing,
everybody. I'm doing great tonight, thank you.
That's a lot of books in the background, Harry. Have you read them all?
Of course, I'm a big reader. I'm a big starer at my phone as well, so I can actually do both of those at once.
Tremendous.
Just how it works.
Tremendous. All right, our other guest for today, live from California.
I'm excited about this.
Let's welcome Nicole Amy Schreiber.
Hey, Nicole.
Bonjour, comment ça va?
Ça va, merci. Wow.
Ça va bien?
Excuse me.
You're getting excited, look. No.
Ça va bien, merci. Et toi? I didn't hear that.
That was about the extent of French.
It's a callback, but
All right. Well, the last panelist we got for today, also hailing from Los Angeles, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Jessica Michelle Singleton.
Yay, hi. Thanks for
How are you
having
doing,
me.
Jessica?
I'm alive. You know, we're here.
That's what matters.
That is what counts nowadays.
Okay, we have a panel of alive people. I think we're ready.
Of living people.
Of living.
It's so unusual, so unlike us. Dead
Listen,
people.
this is my second language, as I've mentioned it.
Third, fourth. Sounds like you're fifth,
Yes.
especially when you sing.
All right, guys. So before everybody goes on, we're gonna play a little game. We're gonna
Yeah.
play a truth and a lie.
Ooh.
Now,
How do we play that?
Let me explain.
All right.
Every performer that gets on says two stories about himself or herself.
I like it.
A truth and a lie.
Okay.
Not in that order. Okay. Other panelists have to figure out which one is the true story, which one is the lie. They can ask, a couple of questions when this is over.
Sounds like a game.
Exactly. And
Right.
you, the audience, you can actually comment and also guess.
Ooh, do you want me to hold on
So
to
I
that?
want to start. I want to kick
Ben will be our first
the
truth or lie.
festivities.
Yeah.
Okay. So first story. Both of them obviously happened to me. Am I right? So first story. I bought an iron. Sorry about my accent. The iron, the things to iron your shirt. I'm sorry, this is comedy.
I love the way you say
I'm
that.
sorry, this is comedy
I bought
to you.
an iron.
I bought an iron.
An iron?
And it was deficient. So I called the customer service store and I started to argue with the lady on the phone, and she was like, "Sir, calm down, stop being such a baby." And I was like, "Excuse me." What happens next is that we start flirting with each other, and she gives me her phone number.
What?
Yeah. 2 days later, we meet in the streets of Paris,
Ooh.
and we hooked up. I hooked up with a customer service girl from the phone, from the iron selling company. That is story number one. Story number two,
Look at the disbelief in Jessica's eyes. Please continue.
no, it is possible that I hooked up with somebody. Come on.
I mean, okay.
Number two, I was at a company event, 500 people, and I was wearing a suit. And as you can see, I'm kind of a big guy, but
You fill it out.
the trajectory of my weight has been up with years. But I was still wearing a suit that was a little too tight for me. So we're there, we're doing this dancing, and I'm on the stage, and I start to dance, and I do this move, and then I hear, and in front of 500 people, because I was showing up on the stage,
Yeah.
my trousers crack. So I was wearing an underwear, but my underwear is visible to everybody, and this was like my first week in the company. All right, so
I
these
want
are my
that one
two
to be
stories.
true.
Now, our panelists, what do you think? And also the audience, you can comment. What do you think? Do you have any questions to ask me?
you remember what brand?
No, just so you're aware, I've gotten like 4 or 5 comments from the audience, all saying the first story is a lie.
Oh, come on! That is mean.
So,
What was Iron Girl's name?
Yeah.
Sandrine.
Sandrine. Well, that didn't take him long to figure out. Harry, you had a question?
I think my theory is he's actually lulling us with that second story because that's just too believable.
Okay.
So I think actually it could be the first story.
So we got a first story from Harry.
Okay, so how do you
all
think the first story?
Nicole?
I just want to know what brand pants were you wearing? What kind of pants were they exactly?
It was a Strelson suit.
Okay. I think the
Excuse
second
me.
story is a lie.
So which one?
I think the second story is a lie.
Oh, wow. So both Harry
Wow.
and Nicole think the first story is true?
No.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they do.
Yeah. Jessica?
I think that he wants us to think that he's luring us with the second story, but I think it's true. I think the first one's a lie. He's like, there's two cars. No one will believe it, but I believe it.
No, I 100% believe Jessica's theory. I think the first story is false. The second story is true. And from the audience, story 1 is a lie. Story 2, no question. Butt crack is true. What song did your pants crack on? That's obviously a made-up name. One person said, yes, I'm with Harry. And then lastly, the Iron Girl's name was Murphy Richards. So story 1 was a lie. All right.
Okay, so
we've got a lot of people.
So actually,
yeah, tell us.
In reality, my pants cracked at a team meeting, but it was not in front of 500 people. The true story is that I hooked up from the customers with the customer service girl from the iron.
So the one detail that was incorrect was that it wasn't in front of 500 people, but your ass still split open like a.
Yeah, but in a car, not in front of people, so it was actually fine. I just had to go home.
I feel like we've been gypped somehow, Jessica. I feel like we've been lied to.
No, you haven't. Okay.
I think, I'm worried about that poor woman.
Man, you laying on top of her must have been like an iron, just pressing her right down, right? Anyway.
All right. Before this continues,
all right, let's get on with our first performer.
Our first performer of the night.
The first performer of the night. Well, our first performer of the night is someone you might be familiar with. He's been on our show almost every time, sometimes too much. Sometimes we've had to beg him not to be, but he continues to press his way through, and we do love him for it. Today, he's coming to us as a meditation guru, if you will. So, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, for a moment of peace, please let us welcome Anton.
Namaste. Hello. Welcome everybody to this meditation, or as we call it, meditation. We're going to start with an effort to quiet our brains. Okay, this is really the goal of the exercise today. Try to quiet the mind. Now, of course, this is an exercise that is very difficult for us French people with our overdeveloped intellect. In a way, this brain superiority is our gift, but also our curse. And we must try to do this effort. So try to take all the thoughts away. If, for example, you are thinking that you are not very successful in life and that your sibling is a lot more successful than you, and probably your mother likes your brother more than you. And why didn't he lose his job during the pandemic? This is the brain talking. You need to quiet the brain. Now, we're going to do a couple of breathing exercise. We're going to do a deep breath in, and then we're going to do a French exhale. If you have never done a French exhale, just copy me, okay? So, deep breath in, and the French exhale. Deep breath in. And now another French exhale. At the next breathing, we're going to do the mantra that we do every week. Are you ready? Putain. Good. Now, I'm sorry. I am seeing some faces. Imagine that you are in a heavenly place. Of course, you are thinking of the streets of Paris. You are walking, you are seeing the Arc de Triomphe, you are seeing the Louvre Museum, and you know that people are starting to come out after the lockdown, and this makes you happy. Why? Because Paris will again be able to enlighten the world, especially the Americans. Did you know that Americans learn more from one trip on top of the Eiffel Tower than during 12 years of their education? It is a disaster. Now, to go to the next visualization, we need to open the chakras. I do not care what they say in India, there are only 2 chakras. First, the chakra of the stomach. Okay? You need a stomach to be able to vomit on the mediocrity of the American culture. It is essential. Your second chakra is your sexual organ, which is absolutely necessary to use in conjunction with your hand to appreciate French cinema. Now that the 2 chakras are open, let's move on to our next visualization. Imagine you are in the desert. And then in the middle of this desert, it's very peaceful. There is a 4-star hotel, probably a Sofitel. You recognize this hotel. This is where you used to meet your mistress before the pandemic. You open the door of the hotel, you open the door of the room, and there is your mistress, naked, and it's going to be a special day because she has agreed to do a ménage à trois. Now, your mistress, you look at her and really imagine all the details. She has a lot of hair on the face, on the nipple, because all the waxing salons have been closed. But you do not care. You are a true Frenchman, and you kiss her on the mustache. This makes you feel connected with nature. You two go into a passionate embrace and a kiss. And of course, neither of you have brushed their teeth in 3 months because toothpaste was not an essential product in France during the lockdown. Now, it's very important. If at this stage you're not in the zone yet, maybe you are still experiencing some muscle pain. So really, if you're experiencing some back pain, like for example, your dominatrix went a little too rough yesterday, really take a moment to relax and let the pain go away. Maybe you're experiencing a head pain from drinking too much Bourgogne red wine yesterday. Pour yourself another glass. Meditation is more enjoyable if you're drunk. Okay, by now you should feel totally relaxed. You can imagine your post-pandemic life. You're ready to go out. You go to the office. You walk to your boss and you tell them that you're going back on strike again. Thank you so much. Namaste.
That was Anton Robin, everyone, with some sage choice words. We had a number of great comments on that. I'll just pull up a couple of them now while I'm waiting for Ben to come back. Oh, he's back. Oh,
I'm here.
Hey there. Hey, did you manage to catch that? We had a couple of questions. Upper or lower mustache? And a lot of people also wondered what size those bed sheets were. Someone actually asked if those bed sheets split.
What is it? I'm sorry, I didn't get that. I'm
Your
French.
pants.
Got it.
Hey, it took you a minute, but you got there. That was wonderful. I really enjoyed that. What do you think?
Thank you. All right, now let's start to welcome our next performer.
Ooh, first one from LA, right?
Yes.
Ladies first. I'm very looking forward to this. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome up. Oh, wait. We're doing the
Truth and a Lie.
Truth and a Lie.
We can still welcome her for that.
Let's
am I
welcome
right?
her for that. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome
Jessica Michelle Singleton.
Hi. Wait,
Yeah, you can go ahead.
I'm good. Great. I don't understand. I'm 90. What's happening? Okay, listen. I'm just going to get into the truth and the lie, and I will be covering my favorite topic with both, which is poop. Well, it's not my favorite, but I didn't want to tell all my cum stories. All right. So, first story. I was a bit of a tomboy in high school, hung out with a lot of skater boys, thought mooning people and farting was very funny, stuff like that. And, so there was this one day where we were in between classes in the cafeteria and everyone was, I don't know, this is probably just gross American behavior, but we were all just going around trying to fart more gross than the other person. Why? I shouldn't be telling you this story. And so it was just sort of this circle of farts. And it got to me and I was like ready to go. Like I had one saved up, cause this was a recurring event. And I let out a really loud fart, but then I pooped a little in my pants. And the thing is it happens to all of us, but the other thing is that I went through a big phase in high school where for some reason I was completely comfortable wearing slacks without underwear. And so like a little bit of poop rolled out of the bottom of my pants. And my friends were like, "Oh my God, is that poop?" And I was like, "Yeah, no, it's joke poop. It's like, I got fake poop for the bit. Isn't that funny?" And then they're like, "Yeah, are you gonna pick up the joke poop?" And so I just had to pick up my poop and be like, "Well, I better put it back in my pocket." And then I put poop in my pocket and
I hope that's true. I really hope that's true.
And I went to class. Okay. And so the other story is at the end of high school, we didn't rent a motorhome. My friend's parents had a motorhome. So we took a motorhome 3 hours away to this small town called Seward. I'm from Alaska, so it's just a town on the coast. We're like, we're going camping. We got a bunch of alcohol. We got this alcohol called Southern Comfort, which is gross, and decided we were going to climb a mountain while drinking a bottle of Southern Comfort. And we did. And we came back and we kept drinking. And I am 4'11" and I don't handle alcohol very well. And, so, I laid down because I was like, I don't feel good. And my friend's like, "You're going to get sick." And I was like, "I'm going to be fine." And then, I came out of a blackout with my pants filled with shit in the bathroom of the motorhome with my friend hosing me down like a dog in the shower. Then I had to wear her pants for the rest, and she was like 3 times my size. She was like old Adele, so it was fun. And those are my stories.
Wow. So we have to.
Just, they're both so believable.
In which circumstance did she shit her pants?
Well, wasn't it both of them?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
so which one is the true one?
I'm so mysterious.
It is. Harry, you want to weigh in on this first?
This is a tough one. It's hard to call, but here's my theory on this. See, Jessica, she's a lady, and a lady would never admit to a real fart. The shitting maybe, but the fart.
Before, have you, Harry?
So I'm calling story 1 the lie. There's no true fart confession on this.
I'm calling story 1 the lie because there was a lot of acting in story 1. Like she really took her time to make it,
Yeah.
And I know Jessica, she spent a summer in Edinburgh brushing up these acting skills. So she's like an amazing actress.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think story 2, she downplayed it a bit, but I think story 2 was the true story. So I'm with Harry. I say 1 is a lie.
Okay. Nicole?
One is a lie.
That's fantastic. I'm also going to go with 1 is a lie because I can believe that up until Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't realize Nicole was still going. Sorry.
And she does not have solid stool. It does not come out like that. She's a loosey-goosey kind of gal. And when that stuff comes out, it comes out like shrapnel.
Okay. In high school, I got a steady diet of Twix bars and Mountain.
That's an inside scoop there. Literally.
Wow, could have been. I go with the pack on this one. Yeah, absolutely. I think it's story 2. What does our crowd say?
The crowd is saying, actually, Karen says Southern comfort is not possible in Alaska. So he thinks story 2 is the lie. All right. And that's it.
All right. I think we got some people questioning the stability of the stool, but Nicole answered that question. So I think most people are going with story 2.
All right,
Jessica, which is it?
Story 2 is the truth, but for the record, story 1 is a real story that happened to a friend of mine. And I have had solid proof.
Excellent. Well, thanks so much for playing. Should we Jessica do
Yeah, so before we move on to Jessica's performance, a little word about our sponsor. I don't know if it's a sponsor.
They kind of do
but
everything for us.
CreationStation.ch is helping us with the tech of this show, especially with the light and the light.
And the light.
And the
There's
camera.
2 lights. And last week was 1.
Yeah,
There's 2.
we've got 4 lights.
Every week we get 1 more light.
And and this week we are in the studios of Creation Station, and I think we might have gotten the tech part right. I hope so.
Really
At least
good.
no complaint in the comments.
That's
so
nice.
thank you so much,
First time for everything.
CreationStation.ch.
Thank you so much, Creation Station.
For all your streaming needs, Creation
The only
Station
station
is
we
here.
pull into.
Yeah. All right, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to our online stage, Jessica Michelle Sengel.
Oh, well, where do we go from here? You know, I've already told poop. That was fun. There's way more poop. And for the record, this isn't part of my set, but I just want to clarify that I sometimes have very solid poops. In fact, the other day, I was sitting down to do my business in a bathroom and I farted and a small, very solid turd shot out of my butt like a cannonball. So take that, everyone. Haters. Okay, so Antoine Robin was talking about how Americans get their sophistication at the top of the Eiffel Tower, and I just want to go on record that as someone who, in college, was involved in multiple Eiffel Towers, I think that's true. And if you don't know what an Eiffel Tower is, it doesn't matter. It's a sex thing, and there's 2 guys, and listen. The truth is that it doesn't matter how much you poop. And when people talk about beauty standards, it's like, okay, but like any of us can get fucked, you know? It's like when people are like, I just want some, like I hate it when I hear my girlfriends complain about not getting laid. I mean, obviously quarantine, it's a different time. Now anyone who's getting laid, like that is for sure who's spreading STDs. If you're like, that's fine, we can risk it. No, you're a bad person, but fucking, like in regular days when someone's like, I just haven't had sex in months. It's like, you know, bitch, leave your house. Even now, probably we're at risk. It's like, fucking, also, what a great time for people with great eyes. And this is killing me that like it doesn't matter. Listen, I wanted to talk about depression, but how is no one, of all of the things that people are saying about Adele, like no one is concerned that this is heartbreak related with all of her music. And also bringing it up reminded me that I used to have a very horrible, fat shaming joke about Adele where when she had a baby, I'd be like, is I the only one that thought she was pregnant the whole time? You know, I'm like, and then it was this whole thing about her, you know, just imagining her like, never mind, I'll find someone like you. But she's standing outside of a bakery in the rain, just staring at a chocolate croissant because she's like trying to cut it out. That's probably what it was like. You know, I was like, should I give up or should I just keep eating bacon? Anyway, I'm going to get canceled, but what can you do? You know, there's a fire starting in my heart. That's called heartburn, Adele. Oh my God. I'm just so bitter that she is losing more weight than me in quarantine. My thighs touched for the first time ever. How did that happen? Anyone else? Give it up. Who's depressed? Huh? Yeah, everyone? It's fun as a person who's been depressed their whole life, now having friends go, I've never felt so bad. And having to be like, well, I've felt so bad for the past 20 years. Remember all the times I tried to call and you're like, no. That's the thing. That's the thing about depression. You get one day. You get one day. That's if you got a really close friend. You can unload and be honest and they'll be there for you. For one day. But if the next day you FaceTime that same friend and they're like, how you doing? And you're like, I'm still depressed. They're going to be like, all right, what do you want from me? Could you not talk about your depression so much? It's really bumming me out. And then you have to be like, oh, my depression bums you out. It's crazy. You know what bums me out? Everything. I'm depressed. People say things if they think you're depressed, right? They reach out. They're like, call me anytime, not a close friend, because then you might actually call him. It's like, let me live. But a guy who used to work 5 offices down from you back when you still had a job, you never spoke to, sends you a Facebook message, and he's like, I'm always here for you. If you need anyone at any hour, call me. You can't do that. You can't call Bob from accounting at 3 a.m. on a Tuesday. I mean, you can, but he's not going to answer. What do you do if he does answer? Hi, Bob. I know it's late. Sorry. How are the kids? Oh, me? Why am I not using this prop? I just drank from a cup and now I'm miming a phone. I'm thinking about killing myself. Bob, you can't say that because you bring up suicide and people are like, oh, dear God, it's a cry for help, which is ridiculous. It's like, relax. If you help me, that's homicide. So then on top of your depression, you get guilt because your friends are calling like, are you still depressed? So you start lying. You're like, no, I'm at the corner of happy and healthy. But you're just walking around a Walgreens pharmacy in the same robe you've been wearing for a month. And they're like, ma'am, you have to quit coming here and eating the nail polish. And you're like, this is all I have right now. I want to be clear. I'll wrap up here for once. Am I right? Condom. I hardly know him. I should be dead. But this is just a bit. You guys don't have to worry about me. If you're, don't, message me and ask if I'm okay. I'm not, but it's not going to help. But if it's cathartic for you because you're also depressed, I'm glad. But please don't send me an email about it. I can't help you. Talk to somebody. A lot of people suffer in silence. Don't do that. It's just, speak up, make everybody around you suffer too. That's the instinct. You're like, oh, I've never experienced depression. I'll reach out to my friend who's chronically depressed. They'll know what to do. But I'm just going to be like, all right, great, suicide pact. I'll see you on Tuesday. Let's jump together in the nude. They'll be like, this is crazy. Were they lovers? And in closing, really quick, I don't know if there's any Americans watching, but if you are, I don't know how things work elsewhere, but we have a pretty shitty healthcare system. But just in case, little PSA, if you are in need of mental health care, just so you know, right now you can see a licensed therapist. You can talk to one 100% free, and you don't need insurance. You don't even need an appointment. You can just go to psychology.com, look up a therapist and their phone number and then you call them and then you just go, help! And then they talk to you. They're like, all right, I've got an hour. What's going on? It's crazy because I talked to a therapist about my depression. I was like, oh my God. And it turns out I don't even think I'm depressed. I think I'm bipolar because I have really low lows, but then just super high lows. Anyway, I'm fine. That's all for me.
Jessica Michelle Singleton! Hey, that was awesome, Jessica. Thank you. That was maybe one of our last performances. Hang in there, girl. We love you.
So speaking of, maybe it's the right time, speaking of depressed artists, it's a tough time for comedians all around the world right now. That's why we keep these online shows going, and there's
keep them alive.
Yes, there's a link at the bottom of the screen.
Oh yeah.
Well, not the screen, but in the description of the show. Mm-hmm. You can donate. It's a PayPal link. Now we've changed it. You can even choose your currency.
Whoa.
All right. And this is through your donations that we're able to
donate pesos.
Maybe try dollars.
Okay.
Or Swiss franc. Yeah. This is how we keep professional comedians on the show, like Jessica and Nicole. We're very happy to have them, and we want to continue to have them.
Exactly.
So
please contribute in the description below. You can also join Patreon if you want to get a lot of background stuff. Some of the extra things we've got coming up in the next couple of weeks. It can be quite fun. We do have Patreon. You feel free to join that as well if you'd like. And even if you don't have any money, if you're poor, like, do you know anyone who's poor? This is Switzerland.
This is Switzerland. I don't know anyone who's poor.
No, it sucks. But if you guys just like, share, subscribe, get the word out, help us keep building this wonderful thing. Thank you guys so much for your support.
All right. And now let's welcome our next performer for his Truth and a Lie story. Please welcome Harry Fox, ladies and gentlemen. How are you doing, Harry?
Yeah, still here, still alive. So you want stories?
We want
A
stories. We
truth
want
and a
2 of
lot.
them.
He's got a lot of books behind him.
All
That's
right.
a lot. All right.
All right. So let me hit you with the first story. So, in fact, I may not look it, but I'm in fact, I think it's 164th Japanese. So my great, probably another great grandfather, Sir Harry Smith, he was a soldier in the British Army. And for a while he was stationed in Hong Kong. And that's where he met my great grandmother. And the way you know this is true, although you can't really see it, if you look at the shape of my eyes, if I just relax, you see that? It's got this like Japanese-ishness to it. So, you know, that's how you know that story's true.
We don't endorse anything,
Getting
Harry,
some
says in
reactions
relation to eye shape.
All right. Second story. So second story now. But then it occurred to me, if I convince her, those are my stories, guys.
A couple of months ago? If that was second one, you're a monster, Harry.
That did not happen a couple of months ago. He told her a couple of months ago that
5, 6 years.
There's evidence. Exhibit A.
Exhibit
live
A.
stream.
So I'm going bad as the second story.
I mean, it kind of is a little bit. All right, no, let's let go, ladies, for this. Nicole, what do you think?
I'm also hoping story number 2 is a lie. I mean, fingers crossed. If my dad ever told me about what my bra would do to my boobs, I would murder him. So very sure if that story's true. If my dad was ever like, hey, don't do that, your tits won't grow, I'd be like, what the fuck do you care about my tits, Dad? He's like, I just want a daughter that all of my friends want to fuck, you know? Anyways, all right, guys.
Oh, fantastic.
Okay. Oh, okay. Cool.
Jessica?
I just, if you just told her a few months ago, and that whole, like, did her tits just not grow? Like, is that?
Oh, they wow.
So, like,
they've grown
so
just
it's
fine.
like,
Let's just say.
she would have had to have figured that out, and I just, yeah, no, that's gotta be a lie, because regardless of whatever the implications everyone else has, I just don't want to believe that your daughter's that dumb that she'd be like, I just thought I had a broken bra. And if she's watching and that's the true story, I'm so sorry, and I'm sure you're really great, and call us if you need help.
We're about to find out what
does
kind
the
of evil
audience
Harry is.
say?
Let's see. First one is partly bollocks. Story 1 is false. Oh, God, these people don't believe in you, Harry. Cage bra and no beer. Not sure what that means. Number 1 is true. Number 2 is a lie. Wow, you really split people down the middle, like Ben's pants. This is just cracked wide open. I don't know where to take this. Amber Eve just says, ha, 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 ha. So, yeah, that's a 50-50. I feel like I'm going to go with story 2 is also a lie, just in hope.
In hope. So sadly, we all hope that you going to the camera and doing the Asian eyes, we still hope we still hope for you this is the truth. So
Which evil are you, Harry?
what do you say?
Which evil? So, while on the one hand, my family did believe maybe there's some Japanese, story 2 is true.
Oh my God!
I am that.
Harry!
I know, but let me say in my defense. So I'm a single dad, and to get whatever leverage you can get on a teenage daughter, you take it. You've got to do it because, yeah. So
Delete you alive.
Next time, mention that you're a single dad, because that changes the entire context of this story.
I was desperate. It smelt. She refused to take it off. And then it occurred to me. And then I forgot to tell her. And I noticed like a few years later.
Did you ever buy her another bra?
Yeah. I mean, later. At the point where she got her first bra, she didn't. This is now I'm oversharing too much. At that point, she didn't actually need one.
Oh. This is now oversharing.
And now bra buying is delegate. She takes care of that herself. So
you know what was the detail? The detail in the bra story is like, the bra was starting to get old. It was starting to get smelly.
Yeah, I was
and I'm like, how do you fucking know?
was Harry like, good morning, honey. Oh, a bit of a whiff on those tits, isn't it? You gotta sort that out.
Harry.
Okay,
All
all right. Well, let's move on. And now for our next performance, ladies and gentlemen,
The gentleman
the gentleman known
as Harry.
Wow, well, after that intro, this bit is going to be fantastic because, ladies, it's time we talk. Because, I know that you've spent the last 8 weeks locked up with your boyfriend, and about now you're looking for a change. The problem is that the type of change you're looking for, you're not going to find on Tinder. Because, the guy you're looking for, he doesn't have time for all that swiping and texting. The type of guy you're kind of saying, a guy like me, he's an old school guy. And that's why I've made this 90s style video personal so that you can see how a real man does it. So go get your dad's old VHS recorder, take this tape and slide it on in there. Hey, baby, are you looking for some of that old school loving? Well, look no further. I'm going to bring you some of that sweet love that Barry White was talking about. Except my name's Harry, but I am white. Now, I know you're a high-value lady. Right now, you're asking yourself, Harry Fox, what have you got to give to me? Well, let me tell you. First thing, old school romance. Check this out. We're talking roses, we're talking chocolate. From back in the days when to seduce a woman, men didn't need to use their imagination. Second thing, I've got that middle-aged white male privilege voice. The one that's been oppressing you for the last 1,000 years. Now, why would you want that? Well, thank you for asking. Because we're in the end of the world right now. Do you want to wake up to, oh my God, what are we going to do? Or would you rather wake up to, hey baby, you look beautiful today. Don't you worry about a thing. We are going to survive this together. Isn't that more reassuring? Now, at this point, you're thinking, he's an old dude. Does it all really still work? Well, I can promise you, I got the good genes down there. In fact, let me show you. That's good genes right there. Just to make you aware that I can hold this alpha male persona for 2 weeks in a row before you figure out I'm just a weak bundle of self-doubt and insecurity. But those will be the best 2 weeks of your lockdown. And you might get lucky. I might die of heart attack, saving you from a painful breakup. Now, at this point, I can feel you. I can feel you getting excited. I can feel you getting a little bit nervous. You're starting to wonder, are you woman enough for Harry Fox? Let me put your mind at ease, baby. You need just one thing to satisfy me. I want you to be full of life. Well, at least I don't want you to be dead of COVID-19. But I am prepared to consider undead. A little bit of biting, a little bit of blood sucking. Our love could be eternal. Anyway, ladies, watch me. Let me take you back to the future. Meet me there. Put down your Instagram. Spend a night with Harry Fox. It's worth 10,000 likes. I'll see you there, ladies.
That was Harry Fox, ladies and gentlemen. That video took a whole other light after the the truth and the lies exercise.
You ever feel like a cold thing creep up your back? Like I just. Wow.
Poor Harry.
Thanks, Harry. That was awesome.
That was good. We love you, Harry.
We do.
So there's going to be quite a few comments, but,
there's a lot of comments
since
about
you're
Harry.
the next performer and you have a bit of a change, we're going to hear your truth and lie.
All right.
And then you're going to go do your change. So,
all right.
So take it away, Chris.
Cool. Truth and Lie with Chris Dawa. Hi, guys. I feel kind of... My stories aren't as gross, but that's okay. Okay, so here's my story. Story 1. These both happened in 2006. And the first one is, I was once working at a nightclub called The Palace in Melbourne. And I was doing a lot of bussing and bar work and stuff. And one night they had the band The Darkness playing there. You might remember them from like, I Believe in a Thing Called Love and a horrendous cocaine addiction. Anyway, I ended up being backstage after the gig, and the whole band was back there. They were, as you'd imagine, partying up like a band. There were chicks and blow and stuff. And they were all just like, I wasn't the only busboy in there either. There was like 3 of us. And they were like, "Oh, come on in and party with us." So I actually ended up spending a night partying with The Darkness, which was fucking crazy. Yeah, it was pretty wild. Second story, also in 2006, later that year, I'd gone to get a job in Qatar, in Doha. I was working for the Asian Games, 2006 Asian Games, in the merchandise stand in the Athletes Village. So we were doing like a whole merchandise center. And we had a lot of like high-ranking official people who would come in. Amongst those, one person that came in to visit during the games was former mayor of New York, Rudolph Giuliani, who you might know right now as being kind of like an evil, gross vampire goblin man. But he used to be a hero. And at the time he came in, I was like, whoa, Rudolph Giuliani. And I actually ended up going near him. One of his aides called me over, and I became Rudolph Giuliani's personal shopper for that day, which is, he likes a lot of stuffed toys. It was a little bit creepy. But yeah, those are my 2 stories. So it's up to you to figure out which one is the truth, which one's the lie.
All right, so we got partying with The Darkness in Australia, and being a personal shopper for Rudolph Giuliani and his stuffed animals.
He has a big thing for stuffed animals, like a lot of them.
All right.
Yeah.
Maybe first question, what kind of stuffed animals did he like?
Well, there's a lot of mascots for this thing, and so he ended up getting like 6,000 of this one particular mascot. I think it was called like an Ori or something.
6,000?
Yeah, he ordered 6,000 because he was getting it not just for himself, but the whole delegation. So I had to organize a massive, massive shop for him.
All right.
Yeah.
Guys, any other question? Harry, Jessica, Nicole?
I have a question. You said you were a barback? You were a busboy?
Yeah, it was bareback. That's right.
No, barback. Like you just
Yeah,
worked.
I was barback. Yeah.
Bartender, correct?
Bartender, busboy, you kind of did everything in that place. If you're wearing a black shirt, you would do all the jobs.
Okay. I'm gonna go with that one's the lie. I don't see you doing all the jobs.
He doesn't look like a slave.
You don't seem like that motivated of a person to get your hands dirty in a bar. I mean, it's the hair. That hair, you have the hair of a man who's a stripper.
Thanks.
I'm saying is take your shirt off. Please.
You're welcome. Jessica.
Yeah, I would have believed the Rudy Giuliani thing up until you said he ordered 6,000 of one. What delegation is that? And also, even if you're into creepy stuffed animals, when you keep that to your fucking self and not be like, I got you guys all these little mascots, don't you love it? Also, I feel like no one with bottom teeth like his likes anything that could bring children joy. Yeah, the other one seems legit. I feel like, I could see a band being like, oh, these guys seem fun and fucking come hang out with us. Yeah. I've been backstage after a concert. Things get crazy. People are chill though. A lot of times. They're like, yeah, no, let's all party. Huh?
Did you shit yourself?
Once, but most of the time that it happened, no.
I love you, Jessica.
All right. Before Harry gives his opinion, we have a question from the audience, from Michael. What did The Darkness get up to that night?
There was, as you'd imagine, there was like quite a lot of blow. There was a bunch of women. Went out to a couple of places, but mostly actually we ended up staying in the venue where they would take turns having showers and then coming back in, doing blow blow, hanging out with the chicks, and then we went to the bus and we ended up dawn in some fucking crazy club in Melbourne. That I can't remember. It was a little hazy at that point.
And Miriam Sonanini says that she hopes story 1 is a lie because she would hate you for it if it was true. What about you, Harry?
So I've been looking at the telltale giveaways. You know, like if you've watched the people when they lie, they look to the right, look to the left when they're telling the truth, making the image. And weirdly enough, that Giuliani story, he was looking to the left a lot. So I'm saying story 2 is the truth.
Okay.
You got one?
Yeah, so, you know, Nicole, I think you were on the right track when you said you don't see him doing all these jobs. However, the point that you missed is that he only cited manual jobs. And that I actually believe that he was only doing manual jobs.
Thank you.
Therefore, I think story 1 is true. And like Jessica, the 6,000 stuffed animals, I just think it was I gotta work on these improv skills, man. So for me, the story 2 is a lie.
All right, you ready?
Yes.
All right, story 1 is the truth.
I knew it.
I know, right? Crazy. Sorry, Nicole.
Look at that.
I know Miriam hates me. I'm sorry, Miriam. I know your mind.
He's a great fucking liar.
I know, right? Good.
All right.
I felt like when
you were about to have another performer. So while he's getting ready, let's read some of the comments from Harry. Harry, a lot of comments about your glove as you were doing your dating video. So Amber, you know, always on your side, Amber. She said 1 leather glove is how you spot the truly cool guys. There you go. However, Jessica knows what says the other gloves was left at the scene of the crime. So sorry, I messed that up, Jessica. Sorry about that. Then we got, Marcus said I would swipe right on that app, and Jessica replied I would call the police. Now, Harry, about your glove, one person said if the glove fits, he must be legit.
That's very true. 90s, it was O.J. Simpson. It was all of that. And Jackson.
All of that. But Harry, I think it went well for you. Let's see. What else did we have? I get nothing else. I never get Harry's dating jokes, probably because I'm an archaeologist. I didn't get that one.
So, but Ben, the real question
he's
is...
not an archaeologist. I think is what it was.
Ben, as you're doing the work for me, are there any impressed ladies in the comments?
Never.
Fuck.
Well, listen, Jessica, no, but there's definitely, I would say, Amber Eve is always on your side, Harry. So,
Amber,
all right,
I got this for you. Okay. All right, enough.
You guys know how to get in touch. Ladies and gentlemen, it is now time to welcome our 4th performer of the night, our penultimate performer. Please welcome to the online stage, Mr. Chris Darwa with Unsolved Christopher.
Tonight, 2015, a healthy baby girl is delivered in a hospital in Zurich. Once the euphoria wears off, we were handed the bill. Why didn't I use a condom? ...2005, Canberra, Australia. A blackout. Some 12 hours of time that just disappeared. The only memory, dim flashes of light that blur through the darkness. Is it alien abduction? Or was it mixing Valium and ecstasy in a gay nightclub and what my therapist calls selective memory? Two years ago, a Turkish friend in Switzerland has it all. Money, notoriety, a thriving enterprise. Then almost overnight, he vanishes, leaving behind only a black t-shirt and a letter of deportation. Actually, that one makes sense. I haven't seen my uncle in over 20 years. Perhaps you can help track down a serial child molester. After several minutes of being on a computer, the screen goes black. It wasn't prompted or touched. The image disappeared. At the same time, the lights go out and the fridge suddenly turns off. Government power drain? The Illuminati? Or had not paying the electrical bill finally caught up with me? What is going on here? And how can I be involved? In 2012, a friend of mine and his new girlfriend are happy, healthy, and looking forward to a bright future. One drunken night later, and I never seen them again. Could it be murder? Were they entangled in some kind of quasi-religious cult? Or could it have been the three-way we had? Who farted? "2010. A modern artist sells 3 canvases painted white as a work of art for $10 million. What? We'll also be bringing you the poignant story of a young boy and his new dog as they embarked on the partnership of a lifetime. Was it ESP? Some form of interspecies telepathy? Or had I just spread the peanut butter on the exact right place? Perhaps someone watching tonight can help solve one of these mysteries. Perhaps it's you. Though not likely.
Chris Dawa, ladies and gentlemen, round of applause for Chris Dawa. Thank you for all your comments. We can see it, we can read them. Now let's move on and let's welcome our last performer of the evening. That's live from Hollywood. Yes. 1 second. We'll welcome her for the truth and the lie story. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome Nicole M. Schreiber. How are you doing, Nicole?
I'm great. How are you?
Great. We're feeling fine here. So, you got some stories for us?
I've got a truth and I have a lie. Okay, so we'll go in chronological order. Camp. It was summer camp. I was 15, 16. I was 15 turning 16. And it was my first boyfriend at summer camp. And there's boys camp and there's girls camp. And then I snuck over to boys camp at night to see my boyfriend. And we put sheets around the bunk bed because at camp you sleep in bunk beds. And we put sheets around the bunk bed so we could hook up privately. And I was like, I'm going to give him a blowjob. It was the first time I'd given a blowjob. And when he came in my mouth, for some reason, I felt like it was like a shot. Like I had to like shoot it like a shot glass, like once it was in my mouth to like swallow it. And so I like threw my head back like that to like take it like a shooter. And then I hit my head on the top of the bunk and then cut my head open. And this was like the middle of the night. And so we had to wake up his counselors to let them know I had cracked my head open. So then I got in trouble and I had to go to the infirmary, and then they had to call my parents and tell them. So that's how my parents found out I'd given my first blowjob at camp. And then my other story is in about 2007. I was dating a guy, and we went to Northern California to stay with my cousins. We were just going on a road trip, and we stayed with them along the way. And we were sitting in bed together one night, both just like fucking around on our computers, and I felt the need to fart. And I did, and I accidentally shit my pants. And because I was wearing sweatpants, but I was also wearing a thong in my sweatpants. So, and it was diarrhea. So I don't know if you know this about liquids, but they take the path of least resistance, which is out the sides of the thong. So just the shit just kind of evacuated out each side. And then I just had, as I said before, a lot of shit looks like shrapnel, just a ton of shrapnel in my sweatpants. And then I went and hand washed my sweatpants in the shower of my cousin's house in the middle of the night.
All right. 2 stories involving body fluids and a lot of details.
I love these girls. Can we have them on every week doing this?
Yes.
This is great.
Let's just turn it into Jessica and Nicole's body fluid stories. Here's an idea. Once you're done reading Harry Potter, this is what you can do.
Wow.
Okay.
Wow. I mean, God, there's so. How old were you when you gave that blowjob?
I was like 15 turning 16.
15 turning 16.
Okay. It seems a little old.
Slut.
Really an old.
Harry's logic. That's all.
Ouch.
All right.
It's a tough one. Well,
do you want to go to the crowd first? The audience?
Yeah, let's go with the crowd.
All right, cool. Well, Michael Gledhill said I was 15 turning 16. That reminds me, I need to record The Sound of Music tomorrow night. Good work, Michael. That's a true blow job. Oh, Magda, you're the best. Doesn't matter what number 2 is. Number 1 is not true, according to Marcus Seppler. Oh, I wonder why he said that. Number 2 is the lie. Okay, number 1 sounds a bit too much like a scene from a movie. It does have like an American Pie kind of vibe to it. That's actually a really good comment. I appreciate that. All right, what do you think?
I'm going to think that number 2, shitting the pants, I felt like it was kind of too close to Jessica's stories.
Mm-hmm.
And I have also better images in my mind with number 1. So I will go with number 1. I will stick to that one.
Will you stick to it? Like,
I'm sorry.
You know what? Yeah, I feel like it's such a great story, number 2. I love that story so much that I'm probably going to say not correct. I'm going to go with number 1 as well. I feel like number 1. What about you, Harry?
Yes, this is a tough one. I mean, it's felt like tonight we've been on an episode of America's Got Shitty Talents. Just these women coming here to shit all over our show. It's really too much. But I don't know. The tricky thing, the problem I have with story 1 is why, like teenagers, the default thing they do is cover up. So it's like, how do you get from like head injury to getting caught, that the parents find out you were giving a blowjob? I think you would have.
Yeah, you had, well, I mean, they were like, my parents were like, what the hell were you doing in a bunk bed? So I just told them.
You told the truth.
Yeah.
I'm sure you would have been like, I was doing yoga, mum, or something, whatever kids did.
No, my mom's a nudist. I come from a very liberal family.
Okay, that additional thing. All right, I'm going with story 1 is the truth.
All right, Jessica?
I am a poor white American, so I didn't go to camp, but I feel like 15, 16 feels more like a junior counselor age than a camp attendant. First of all. Secondly, I don't buy for 1 second that Nicole would allow a man to come in her mouth at 15. I feel like she would be like, no, go in the bathroom, get that away from me. You are disgusting. And also, a good point. As Nicole's best friend, for better or worse, she's the only person I've met who probably has more shit stories than I do. So I believe that and she's got a thing about washing her underwear in the shower. There's always a pair of underwear in her shower. Always. Are those always shit in? I always wondered what that was. Anyway.
Oh my God.
Come on. But I think that the lie is number one.
All right.
Wow,
Can I just?
Wow, we should have asked her first.
No,
I feel like
This is a
Harry
gold
cannot.
moment.
that's so. All right, it's
I
a
have
big
one
drum roll. All
follow-up.
right,
I've
ready?
got a
Oh wait,
follow-up.
Harry.
I got a follow-up question. How old was the guy in story 1?
Same age.
Same age. Okay, because I'm just testing the camp
No,
counselor
Harry
thing.
can't get a boner unless he's like 45.
Okay.
Wow. Touche.
I love these girls. I love this. All right, Nicole.
Nico.
Your story that was
Okay.
a lie was?
Number one's the lie, but
Wait, but she
but
swallows.
that was almost the story of my first blowjob. And it was 15-16, you fucking whores in Australia. But it wasn't at camp, it was at a dude's house, and I did throw my head back like it was a shot glass. And then I actually fell backwards off the bed and hit my head. And then the next day I still thought I had a concussion. So this was in Canada and they've socialized medicine. So I went to the doctor for free to get my head checked.
You
So-
would
Nice.
immediately be
Okay.
worried about a
Go
concussion.
Also, I have IBS, so I literally could tell shit stories for days.
She's probably shitting right now.
I just took a shit like 5 minutes ago.
Yeah, when Screen went to the Skype logo, she left to poop.
Yeah.
For shit. I guarantee.
That was S for shit. That's what happened.
Nice. I love how
Okay.
you booking it with shitty jokes.
All right.
We only got one
So-
performer left, so let's
Yeah.
bring her. There.
Welcome to the stage, Nicole Amy Schreiber.
Where do I go from here? You know, it's already been so revealing and so candid, and I'm just such an honest person. I think this quarantine has taught me a lot about myself. For one, all these years I thought I was an extroverted introvert. Turns out I was just a really chatty, depressed person. I also realized I'm a much better actor than I thought. I've actually perfected the art of faking an orgasm over FaceTime. I love guys think orgasms look sexy, you know? Like usually guys will watch porn and a girl will be like, yeah, this is good. No girl looks like that. I look like I'm exercising a demon. It's not cute. It's not attractive. But I've gotten really good at faking it. I can't make myself come. Who am I kidding? I have to use a vibrator. Like people who can just masturbate with their hand. More talk of fluids. Let's keep going. I need the quarantine to end because right now my clit looks like Gollum. It is a nightmare down there. I'm just sandblasting my entire genitals away, with a masturbating tool called the womanizer. I'm womanizing my clit. The patriarchy is going nowhere. It's currently in my bed. Good. I also realized over this quarantine that I am the friend you call when you need someone to look at your butthole. If you have a problem down there. Before Jessica Michelle, I've seen her butthole a million times. But I'm that friend. I give you the first opinion before you go and get a real first opinion. Because if you can't see a doctor during quarantine, you see Dr. Nicole, and she'll let you know, yes, that man blew your asshole out. So I'm good like that. I also, I've become a better daughter in quarantine. Now when my mom calls me to talk about the weather, I actually talk about the weather. I don't even know if I've become a better daughter, but I'm just that bored that I'm willing to hear horrible stories about my Aunt Linda. Okay, good. All right, let's go to the truth about me. I'm Jewish. Are there any Jews watching this show? I'd hope so. We own the internet. were pretty great. But I think it's funny that Jews named the worst atrocity to happen to the Jewish people in the history of the world after their favorite thing to say when they walk into a deli. Excuse me, what's the Holocaust? Now, that is just one of many Holocaust jokes I have. How many do I have? 6 million, you guys. I have 6 million of them. Some people deny that I even have Holocaust jokes at all. That last one's a real slow burn. Probably shouldn't refer to anything having to do with the Holocaust as a slow burn, but being Jewish is fun. I'm excited. I hope this quarantine goes through till Christmas so I don't have to go home to watch my non-Jewish friends wear matching fucking pajamas. What is it with you fucking non-Jews and your matching pajamas? Who does it? Why do you do it? I don't know. One of my friends does it, and I asked her why she does it, and she's like, it's just really cute and fun. What's not to understand? I'm like, well, I'm Jewish. The last time we wore matching pajamas, it did not end well. Can I keep going with the Holocaust jokes? Absolutely can. But I'll stop because my ancestors are rolling over in their graves. Their mass graves. How many more jokes does she have? Okay. Let's get a little manic. I was in Vegas when this whole thing happened, when the whole quarantine broke out, and everybody started, slowly wearing masks, and I was wearing a mask in the elevator, and I watched a man get into an elevator not wearing a mask, and then he just took his finger, and he just pressed an elevator button. He just, bare finger, not a knuckle, not an elbow, just bare finger, took his fucking finger onto the button. He just raw dogged the button, okay? And it wasn't just any button. It was the ground floor button, okay? That is the cum dumpster of buttons. That is the street hooker who's fucked everybody. She's a Craigslist hooker who fucked my ex-boyfriend, and then he broke up with me because he said he needed to find himself, and himself turned out to be in the asshole of a trans hooker named Crystal. And then I had an abortion. It is the 7-year anniversary of my abortion. I don't have any shame about it at all. In fact, it was one of the best decisions I've ever made. I would say in hindsight, the only bad part about my abortion was really the traffic coming home. LA is just the worst. I was just in bumper to bumper traffic on the 405, just white knuckling it the whole way home. And I'm like, I'm going to lose it again. But I didn't. I made it. Yeah. Oh, and then I found out before the quarantine that my friend had been photoshopping his son's lazy eye in pictures. The pictures he had posted on Instagram were really cute. It was a very cute kid. And then when I had gone home last, I saw the baby and realized they were not right. And I was like, bro, like, what kind of monster does that to another monster? That kid was hideous. Yeah, I think that's all for me. How much more time do I have? Am I good? I mean, I'm not good. I'm good. All right, you guys. That's all for my mental breakdown.
Nicola Schreiber!
Wow, all those Jew jokes, man. I feel burnt out.
Nice.
So, hey.
So a lot of good comments. From Mike Gladle again, in Nicole's stories, he wrote, I didn't enjoy the first story. It was a lot to swallow. That was a good one. I like it.
Nice pursing the lips there. What are the comments we got from this one? We got some good ones
we got some good ones.
Miriam Sarnini says the womanizer is great. Excellent choice. So you got some support from the sisterhood there.
Michael Gladle again. I can't make myself come. You're like an American Uber then. Okay.
A. Hines said that ever since Chris said Nicole looks like a hot Larry David, I can't unsee it.
It's true. I can't unsee it either.
So on point. She appreciates that one, eh? Thanks.
All right.
What else we got? Sorry?
Thank you so much. Hot Larry David, the highest compliment ever. I just hate when guys start
Larry
dating me and
David's
they're
my
like,
favorite,
Larry
and then,
David's
like,
my
after a
favorite,
week,
and they're like, you're too Jewish.
like,
You're too Jewish.
Does that happen a lot?
Oh, all the time. Yeah.
Try being a little less Jewish, okay?
Wow. What are you, a mother? Like, God,
I'll
Lord.
take that back, but my face really does all the heavy lifting, so, you know.
All right. Well, look, you know what?
Yeah,
That's
look,
our show,
we had
man.
more panel stuff, but we're already 15 minutes behind.
That's
so,
right. You guys
so
have been amazing. Thank you so much for staying
Yeah,
with us. This was we had a lot of fun. We hope
was
you had a
so
lot of
much fun.
It was great.
thank you so much, ladies from Hollywood. We always would love to have you on the show.
Yeah, you guys were amazing. Like, every time you're here, it's such a blast. Sorry to Harry's daughter.
Thank
Fuck,
you.
man.
So the only thing, so again, if you want us to bring, to bring comedians, amazing professional comedians back, please look in the description for the donation link. You got a PayPal link. You can also become a patron of the show if you want to become a
supporting,
regular
keep growing.
supporter. Keep growing. And really, if you're broke, then it's fine. You just share the show. You talk about it. We can find a deal. I don't know why I just did
Why
that.
did you become a Italian? We'll work something out. You do a little for me, I do a little for you.
I don't know. So anyway.
All
so,
right, Creation Station for all
yes.
your creating and lighting needs. And
Thank you
camera.
so much.
Thank you
I
guys a
feel
lot.
this week we got it right.
Yes.
We got it right. The
You did
camera, the lighting.
You
We
did
did it. Finally, we got
It only
it.
took us 2 months, but we got there.
We got a viewable show.
You guys were amazing. Thanks so much again.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Big thank to our director, Chris Breaker,
Yeah.
behind all the direction that you saw tonight.
Having a heart attack every segment. We love you, big guy.
And a big mention to Harry Fox, who basically taught everything to Chris when it comes to directing the shows. He's the master of OBS, our broadcasting software.
And now the least dateable man in Zurich. Big up to you, Harry.
It's fine because now he knows how to broadcast himself worldwide.
Oh.
So there you go.
Okay. All right. That's everything. You guys were lovely. Thanks so much.
Thank you
We'll be
so
here
much.
Sunday next
This was
week.
our show. I feel like we should hug.
I don't. COVID.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, let's not hug. Don't hug. Bye, guys. Thank you
Bye.
so much.
Bye.